series between the St. Louis Blues and the Winnipeg Jets. This was a fun series, probably the best series of the first round. Or if you want to go with the Stars and the Avalanche, both went seven. Both had some great games. Both had some key moments. The story of this series was the Blues. Neither team was able to win on the road. It was tied 3-3, but both teams only won their home games. So it just came down to, can the Jets win at home once again, and can Connor Hellebuck have a good game? The answer to that second question is no. He wasn't good in this game, and I'm getting to him in a second because I think going into the second round, either either team was set up for failure. And I'm gonna get well. I'm gonna get. I can start with the Blues and how they started the game off with a 2-0 lead. Really just really exposing Connor Hellebuck throughout this series. He was exposed in this series. He gave up multiple goals. He was benched in each road game. He was even benched in this game. And once they tied it up towards the end, they were able to bring him back in because they needed somebody to protect the goal. But Connor Hellebuck, if he can get exposed by a 44-win team, I can only imagine what the Stars are doing that series. The Jets were able to win, but how they got there was interesting to say the least. But the Blues, they had a 2-0 lead after the first intermission. That it looked effective. It was already talks about this Connor Hellebuck get benched now, and you bring up bring in the backup. Those were the conversations that the commentators were having, and it was very valid because Connor Hellebuck, he wasn't good on the road. In the most important game, you're already starting off bad. The second goal that the Blues got that wasn't on Connor Hellebuck. I will say that one wasn't on him, but the first one was. He should have blocked that first one. I don't know how he didn't block the first one. And then I think the Jets, they scored on a power play to make it 1-2, and they eventually matched the Blues in shots. They became more aggressive with the shots on goal, and they finished with 47. Yeah, they finished with 47 shots on goal to the Blues 29, so they just became more aggressive. And the Blues were up 3-1 in the third intermission with 2 minutes left. Connor Hellebuck was sent to the bench with 3:14 left, and that allowed them to bring in an extra skater. So they didn't have no goalie, but they had an extra skater to where they had more chances to get opportunities to getting the puck in the goal, and they did that twice in the span of 2 minutes to make it a 3-3 game and send it to overtime. So there are other players that came up clutch in this game that they needed really needed everybody to step up, no matter who played, no matter who got the minutes. Everybody had to step up, and it was 3-3 going into overtime, so Connor Hellebuck was able to get brought back in. But this was the fourth time in a 7-game series where Connor Hellebuck was benched, and this is the best team in the league, like record-wise. They won 56. They had the best record in the league, and they had to bench their goalie 4 times in one series. Let that sink in. And then this was not just did it go to one overtime. And that first overtime was a power struggle. Neither team was able to get the puck in the goal. So it's still 3-3 after the first overtime. Heads to a second overtime, and that one goes for a minute. And it was then it finished with the Jets getting they won. They scored the last goal of the game. They won 4-3 in double overtime. It's like I said, they had 47 more shots. And going into this, the Blues had won 15 straight games at home, but this game was on the road, and they hadn't been able to win a game on the road all series. And that was going to come back to bite one of them in the butt, and it did. It ended up hurting the Blues because the Jets were still the better team despite Connor Hellebuck's struggles. And I'm gonna get into his stats in a second, cause man. But as far as the Blues go, they weren't supposed to get this far. I mean, I know they had the hot home streak after the All-Star break, but this series shouldn't have won 7 games. So respect to the Blues for pushing this Jets team, who I have winning the Stanley Cup. I still do have them winning it because I'm not gonna go back on my pick, but I'm not as confident in that pick now. But Matthew Joseph, 1 goal, +1, 3 saves. Uh, Radek Foska, he had a goal early, which helped them get some momentum in this game. And Jordan Kyrou, he had a goal, he had 5 saves, and he played 26 minutes, almost 27. So they all did their thing, but like I said, the Blues weren't supposed to beat. Like they barely made it into the playoffs with that hot late season run. But I think if they may get the right pieces in the draft, I think next season they could be better. I think they can get up to 50 wins next season. 'Cause they were at 44 this year. I think they can get up to 50 and they could be a playoff team once again. This is a good way to build. You went 7 with the best team in the league. It's no shame in them losing. Obviously, you want to win. It's the playoffs. You want to get as far as you can. But this was a good series from the Blues. They played their hearts out. They ended up losing in double overtime. So nothing to be ashamed of. Obviously, losing is disappointing, but they had a great series and they're gonna have something to build off of. As far as the Jets go, now looking at them, now them going 7 with a 44 win team, that doesn't impress me. That makes me scared going into their series against the Dallas Stars, who also went 7. So both the Stars and Jets are tired going into that series. So whoever wins that and them going to the conference finals, they're likely eliminated there because both teams are already tired, and they're going to tire each other out even more. Even if the other Western Conference series goes 7, both because the other two series went 6 games, both of these teams had to play one extra game, and they hadn't. So I do think the Stars. Like I said, I'm sticking with the Jets going to the Stanley Cup, but I'm not as confident as that pick now as I was when I originally made it. Adam Lowry was solid. Well, he was pretty good today. He had 1 goal. He was a plus 3.5, 4 saves, and 32 minutes played. I think that was the most minutes played on the team. Well, as far as forwards go, that was the most minutes played because there was a few defensive guys that played more than that. There was the fourth most minutes played on the team. Cole Perfidi, he had 2 goals. He was a plus 1.5, 4 saves. He did his thing out there, and then that's pretty much what the Jets they played. Overall, they were solid. And then let me circle back to the Blues real quick before I forget to mention this player. Jordan Biggington was great. 47 save attempts for 4 goals. Gave up 4 goals. Had 43 saves. Was a 91.5 save percentage. Played the entire hour, 36 minutes and 10 seconds. He didn't get a chance to come out the game. Obviously, giving up 4 goals usually isn't good, but when the Jets are that aggressive shooting that many shots on goal, I do find that impressive that he's able to block 4 out of 47 attempts. So, and then this was a rematch of, I think, no, Jordan Biggington and what's his name, Connor Hellebuck went at it in the USA versus Canada game. But Connor Hellebuck, 89.7 save percentage. It was good enough for them to get the win today, but this is scary. He's a potential he's an MVP candidate, but he's looked so bad in these playoffs. You can't be benched 4 times in a 7 game series, and you win the series because you have your other guys like that I mentioned, like Cole, like Adam, who were able to get goals and score. And there was somebody else that had a goal that I didn't point out for the Jets. Vance, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it started with a V. Vladislav. Forgive me if I said his name wrong. But because of them guys being able to step up and you being simply the better team, and so you get the win. But this Stars series is going to be a lot more tougher, and it might not go 7 because the Stars are going to be able to win on the road. The Stars did prove that in their series. They can win on the road. So great series from the Jets and the Blues. The Jets walk away winners, but I think the Blues, they look good. They gonna build off of this. And then the Jets, we'll see what happens. Connor Hellebuck, if he can't afford to get benched like this against an even better team than the Blues and the Stars. But leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment what you thought of my review of the game. Comment what you saw throughout the game that you thought why the Jets won, or who you had winning the series between the Jets and the Stars in the second round, which I don't know if that starts on Tuesday or Wednesday. I had to see. But peace out.